So this notion of basic income has been around for a long time,
Sure.
but it's only becoming quite mainstream now, and part of it is because of these driverless trucks now on the road being tested in America, and this has only happened in the last few months. But here's a chart of the most common job for each state in the United States, and you see that color, that's truck driver. So that's the #1 job. That's one of the last remaining pretty well-paying jobs for a guy with no college education. That's going to be displaced. So people are actually asking, like Hillary Clinton, as you mentioned, actually responded to a question on Facebook. She was asked about a basic income because of all these rapid technological changes. And I'll just read the first sentence or two. She said, "I had a feeling this might come up. You are asking exactly the kind of questions that we all need to be asking about the future of work in an age of accelerating technological change. I certainly don't have the answers, but we have to resolve these questions while embracing the promise and potential of these new technologies and without stifling innovation or limiting the ability, blah, blah, blah." So, you know, this is now, Americans are actually talking about it, who are often against these sort of concepts, but it's now becoming a sort of practical reality. How would they finance it? How would that actually happen in the United States? What would it look like?
I've just recently been in Washington, D.C., where I was talking to a very big conference about this. And I would say to the Americans who are running for president and for running for office that one of the things they should commit to doing is setting up a national commission to look into how it could be done and what ways of financing it. But in addition to that, I think what they should do is launch some pilots in sort of selected areas to see on the feasibility, see on the, again, returning to this issue of externalities. One of the externalities that we find from having a basic income is that it improves mental and physical health.
And that's a big problem in the U.S., and you see it with the
course.
huge drug problem there across many.
And if you improve health, you obviously lower the demands on your public healthcare system and lower the costs. It's the same with schooling and education. We find that if people who have basic security, their children are more likely to take good advantage of schools, which means that the public school systems can be more efficient and you lower costs. So you've got to look at the indirect positive effects.
They did a study up in Oregon, I think it was, where they gave free health care. This is before Obamacare, free health care to a community. And what they noticed most was the reduction in mental stress, in like emotional stress.